Method number 2, instead of slope-intercept, it's x and y-intercepts, plural. Okay, so here's the way it works. Okay, you still get an equation, you still got a set of axes, but the steps we're going to go through are slightly different. Slightly different. Okay. We want to use like 2 points and join them up. That's kind of what we're doing every single time. You got 2 points, you can just draw a line between them, and there's your graph. That's great. Okay. So the x and y intercepts are 2 particular points that are usually very easy to find. Now you already know what the y-intercept is, right? We've just practiced how to read the y-intercept off of this graph, right? Where's the y-intercept? Which number? It's the 4. It's the +4, isn't it? There you go. Okay, so I can say the y-intercept is equal to 4. Okay, so I'm going to plot this onto my graph. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. Okay. There's my y-intercept, okay? Now last time at this point, like this is all the same so far. At this point what we did was we went to the gradient, okay? And we drew a triangle thing in here and then no worries, okay? This time we're going to do it slightly differently. See how this is the y-intercept, right? Well, if there's a y-intercept, logical to say there should be an x-intercept also, right? It should hit this axis as well, okay? Now, here's the way we're going to do it, right? So maybe you want to put this working off on the side. To find, the y-intercept is just sitting there. To find the x-intercept, okay, make y equals 0. Now, you're like, huh? What's that mean? I'll show you in a second. Stay with me. Show you what it means. You take this y equals minus 2x plus 4, right? And I'm going to make y equal to 0 just for a second to see what happens, okay? So instead of y, I'll write down 0, right? So not y. Then I go like this. Okay, so I've written down this, right? Now, I've seen these kinds of things before. This is an equation. I can solve this. I want to get x by itself. Any suggestions for what I can do? I can divide. What should I divide by?
Add 2.
Hold on. I can divide. I can add. Give me a suggestion. One suggestion though. Yeah, Peter, what were you saying?
Wait, that makes it 0. I was agreeing with Tom.
What was your? You were gonna.
You add 2, so you can cross out the minus 2.
Okay. Now you got to be super careful. Okay. We are going to add and subtract some things, but we can't just add 2. I'll tell you why. Okay. This minus 2, right? It's minus 2 times x. It's not minus 2 plus. Yeah, I should actually divide, right? So I'm going to divide. Well, I can divide by 2, I guess. Let's do that. What's 0 divided by 2? 0. 2 divided by 2, that's going to be minus 1. Yeah. That's an x. What's 4 divided by 2?
2.
It's 2. Okay, now this is good. By the way, I don't really have to write minus 1 times x. I can just write minus x. Okay. But I don't have x on itself. What can I do now? I want x equals something. I should add x to both sides. Just 2 from 2. That's awesome. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. If I add x to this side, it'll just become x. If I add x to this side, it'll cancel out this negative, right? So I'll just be left with a 2. Okay. Now here's the important thing, okay? See how we made y equals 0 and then we got x equals 2. These guys together, right? They are mates, that's exactly right. In fact, they're not just mates, they're what we call coordinates. Coordinates. We looked at coordinates before. We started with coordinates. It means that, yeah, that's right. X equals 2, y equals 0. They match up together like this. 2, 0. This is the way I write the coordinates. There's the x and there's the y. Okay. So where is that on this graph? Well, 2, right? In the positive direction, I'll go 1 and then 2. That's where it is. 2. Y-intercept 4. X-intercept 2. I've got my 2 points, so now what do I do? Join them up. Excellent. Let's do it. Oh, I missed. You get the idea.
Should have gone the outside.
Yeah, I should have. Anyway,
You should just do more.
Actually, I've seen people do that. I see people like draw extra lines just to make it a bit wider. It's like, look, see, I got it.
Excited.
Okay, so there you go. That is y equals minus 2x plus 4. Now, by the way we went about it was, we worked out two intercepts, and we didn't talk about gradient at all. But you can kind of see the gradients in there, isn't it? Look, see, the gradient's negative. What does that mean? What is the significance of that? Look, it's going down. See, it's dropping down. The gradient is negative. And secondly, the gradient is negative 2, and 2 is quite steep. That's why it's dropping quite fast. Can you see that? Okay, so let's summarize, shall we? These are, again, we'll write out the steps, okay? And you can write them down too.
Don't rub it out, sir, because I like watching.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. Okay, step 1 is exactly the same. Okay, you prepare. So what was preparing? You write down the equation, and you draw the axes. Good. Always start there. Okay. Now, the second thing we did was very, very similar to the first one. What we were looking for was a number. Which one, Mark? Which number?
Y.
It was the y-intercept, right? So find the y-intercept. Well, yeah, because you kind of know how to do it from the previous one, I'm not going to write out everything. So I'm just going to say find the y-intercept, which you're going to do it the same way you did before. Okay? Okay, find the y-intercept and plot it, I should say. Because we found it as 4, and then we put it on there. Okay? And plot it. Okay? By the way, don't forget, it's really bad if you mix up the x and y axes. That's why it's so important to label them, right? Because you can see if I swap these around, if I made this one 2 and this one 4, your graph would be completely different, right? It wouldn't be the same graph, so you must get them matched up correctly. Okay? So you found the y-intercepts, then you plot it. Now, you have to find the x-intercept, and that's where we did this, right? So you say find the x-intercept by making y 0. Okay? That's what we did in here. Okay, so you go back to your original equation. Okay? Go back to the equation. And put in, everywhere you see y, like over here, you put in 0 instead. And that's how we got this line. Okay? Okay? Once you do that, out will pop an x value, like 2. Okay? So then you plot, you draw it on, plot the x, sorry, that's really messy, the x-intercept. Okay? You plot it, and now you've got your 2 points. You join it just like before. Ta-da!